The Detroit Lions have hired Aaron Glenn as the DC. Let's talk Lions. Welcome back. Thank you for liking, for commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Now, word is that Aaron Glenn will be the new DC for the Detroit Lions. That's right. And there are some very interesting aspects to this that I'd like to talk about. First and foremost, I like it. Now, look, I know I haven't put out a video about Dan Campbell yet. It's because he hasn't been named the head coach. So I just don't want to get ahead of myself. Like when I thought Furby would be a fun gift for my brother. We all knew that Corey Unlin wasn't getting a second shot. Looking at our defenses last year, I'm sorry. As much as I love his hair, no. Personally, I love the Aaron Glenn hire. I love it. I think it's a solid hire. Why? Let me tell you. Sure, first and foremost, he's never been a defensive coordinator. But without that certain experience, he brings a lot of other experience to the table that I think will be vital for this new Detroit Lions era and for our defense. Specifically, player development. If there's anything that we can see out of Aaron Glenn, it's that he knows how to develop players. He's been doing it with the Saints. He was doing it with the Browns. He knows how to develop players, and I love that about him. A little bit of background on Aaron Glenn. He was actually the first-round pick for the New York Jets way back in the day. I want to say 94. So he played a couple seasons. He actually played with Dan Campbell, I believe in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. So there is ties, there's links with him as a player, but also a coach. We'll get there. After his career as a player, he actually became a scout for the Jets. He did that in 2012. After a few years there, he goes to Cleveland and works with their DBs. And then in 2016, he goes to New Orleans. So there's Dan Campbell working with the tight ends, assistant head coach. And there is Aaron Glenn working on the defensive side of the ball. He was actually, you look at what he did with a guy like Marshawn Lattimore. There's been a lot of success for him as a defensive coach for the Saints. He got to work with Sean Payton. He's worked with Dan Campbell. So yes, they are coming in together. I don't love when friends are hiring friends, but let's just hope that this one is a solid hire. I just can't get Bob Quinn hiring his buddies out of my mind. You look at Aaron Glenn with a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, he gets drafted in 2017. He comes out of Ohio State. And now here we have a guy like Jeff Okudah coming out of Ohio State. What will Glenn be able to do in order to develop a guy like Okudah? That's a good question, because is Okudah a bust? I don't know. I just think he had a groin injury and didn't have a preseason, was thrown into the fire, had a tough year. So I really do hope that this second year, a guy like Glenn can begin to develop Okudah. Here in Detroit, we have guys like Jamie Collins or Ragland. Bigger dudes, slower dudes at the linebacker position. And so I really do foresee, in general, with Holmes coming in, with Campbell coming in, and now with Glenn coming in, a heavy restructuring, a heavy evaluating and restructuring offensively, defensively when it comes to personnel. And so I don't expect to see a guy like Jamie Collins wearing Honolulu blue next year. I don't expect to see Ragland wearing Honolulu blue next year. I expect some of these slower, bigger linebackers to move on and to see a faster, lighter approach to the linebacker position. I'm not talking like skinny dudes out there. I'm just talking a faster and lighter approach compared to guys like Collins. You watch Collins trying to track down guys going into the secondary. It was always really hard to watch because he just got burnt pretty consistently. Really listening to Holmes yesterday, the entirety of the team is going to be a very collaborative effort, but I do see them handing over the reins defensively to a guy like Glenn and saying, help, create something new. Like, here is a dirty piece of abstract art. Can you make something out of it? Or, when you gotta get that tattoo covered up. I feel like that might be what it's like. We're gonna cover up a tattoo out there with Glenn. Turn that switchblade into a butterfly, man. All in all, I like the hire. Looking at what Glenn has done, looking at really what he knows, how he's worked with Campbell, how he worked under Sean Payton, his player development style, and potentially turning the Lions defense into a 4-3. I do like the Glenn hire. I'm excited for it. Seems like an intelligent guy. Seems like a passionate guy. He allows the players to work the way that they need to work, and he molds with them, developing. I like it. How do you feel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me how you feel about the Glenn hire, and I'll catch you next time on Let's Talk Lions.